A brave young man, ready to experience the future firsthand. Is there anyone else out there with courage in their hearts? Come one, come all, and experience the future!
Where the video games? Where my video? I can't breathe.
I don't know if this current PlayStation situation is a Mysterio illusion or anything, but I, for one, am not having it. But anyways, welcome back, true believers and all you spectacular Spidey fans, as well as all you PlayStation fans out there, to another very, very, very personal video. Because, of course, if you saw the recent news where I did make a video about that, we did receive information from PlayStation pretty much announcing the end of physical media as we know it, where by the time January 2028 rolls around, PlayStation will no longer be manufacturing any type of physical discs for any of the PlayStation titles, whether or not that relates to PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, or the upcoming PlayStation 6. Any and all physical media, gone. Done. Terrible. And I already did a full video talking about that, discussing the news in its entirety and how that could pretty much affect not only the gaming industry, but the entire broader spectrum of the entertainment industry at large, and what that means for ownership of your own personal physical media. But I really wanted to take this time in this video to get a message across directly to PlayStation themselves to really showcase exactly why physical media is so important, not just in the sense of course, digital sales have granted increased within recent years, slowly but steadily. We have seen certain statistics provide the information that digital sales have increased in rather than physical sales, but there are certain other games that physical sales are still a massive part of the marketplace and is a massive factor of how people go out and buy the thing that they actually want to purchase. So if PlayStation is doing this to obviously hone in on all the sales and keep it for themselves within the digital marketplace, that way they don't have to spend money within manufacturing, shipping discs, any of that type of stuff, yes, from a business perspective, technically that would be the most logistical option. But in doing so, they are not only directly killing off a wide variety of their own player base, but also the trust that the consumers have towards the PlayStation brand as a whole. In fact, you might have seen a video online where someone directly threw out their PlayStation 5 Pro console, controller, and I think even their stand in certain games even into a garbage shredder, like an entire industrial grinder. That's pretty darn overboard, but it shows how people online clearly are not happy about this news, and they've even made claims saying that the PS5 will in fact be their very last console that they ever purchase. If that means the end of physical media, they're going to keep their consoles for themselves and not go out of their way to buy anything else. So this also relates to brand trust and loyalty from consumers of wanting to stick with the brand and the franchise of the PlayStation IP and every other game that could be releasing underneath their umbrella. But for me, there is a much more important thing at stake here, and that is the connectivity that we have as consumers with our games and in a greater aspect with each other. If you saw the intro of the video, clearly just to make fun of the situation, but in about 5 to 10 years time, if that decision does turn out to be valid and they go through with this tactic of not making any more physical media, your entire gaming space is going to look like that. Empty, barren, nothing. And you will have absolutely nothing to show for it with the amount of games that you played in your digital library. Now, granted, I'm not saying that digital media is bad, considering that there are actually quite a wide variety of games that I personally own digitally just because I wasn't able to access them physically at the time, and being able to play them digitally is very convenient. Some of my all-time favorite PlayStation games, actually, Shadow of the Colossus, I got that from a PS Plus deal at the time, where it was free, downloaded that. Hi-Fi Rush, one of my all-time favorite games. It's just amazing. And also Scarlet Nexus. Scarlet Nexus is a great kind of JRPG, action combo, combat-centric game that I was really fond of, and it was also on sale through the digital marketplace. But if I had the option to be able to find the game that I wanted to buy in person through a disc and have physical ownership of that disc versus just buying it through digital storefront, I would choose physical every time. But digital media still has its value. So what is the real option to do here, and that's to obviously have a good balance of both. I didn't mean to do a 6-7 thing right there, but mainly to have a good balance of having a library of physical games that you own, that you have ownership of, and also allowing players to choose, to have the option to choose to access that digital storefront if they want to. And just to get my whole point across, I wanted to showcase in this video my whole physical library of PlayStation 5 games. Now, I have my whole PS5 and PS4 physical library with me. My PS2 and PS3 physical library is currently in storage somewhere else. But if I were to show you my PS4 and PS5 library, this video would be an hour long. So I just want to show you my PS5 library to get the point across on how meaningful physical media can be. Not only just, of course, building out your library of all these different games, but also by the time that I'm, 90 years old with white hair and not even able to game anymore, I will have these memories with me forever and physical proof that I was able to experience these journeys for myself on whatever occasion it was, whether it be something related to a family matter, something that I bought independently, or something that I was gifted to from a friend. I will have those memories forever, and the physical media is also showing that proof of the experience that you had in your life at that time when you played through these games. And this, by the way, the Spy Squad, is a big part of what this discussion is about, so stay tuned for that. But just to kick things off, Persona 5 Tactica. I love Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal. I was very kind of skeptical about the kind of gameplay style that Tactica has, but I love Persona 5, I played this game, and I loved it, and it's just another awesome Persona game to add to my collection of my already growing series of Persona games. Persona 5 was my very first Persona game ever, and it only expanded from there. But Persona 5 Tactica, great game. I remember buying it when I was still in college at San Francisco State University in 2023, and you're going to see that for a lot of these actually as well. Another one, boom, Horizon Forbidden West. I love the Horizon series. Bought this with my roommate. We played this kind of together when I was at San Francisco State University. Again, a super anticipated sequel. It came out before Marvel's Spider-Man 2, so all the next-gen hype for what the PS5 was going to be capable of doing. I went out and bought it day one. Excellent, excellent game. Much better than the first one, even though I love the first one. And also, Ghost of Yotei, another sequel, which I got when I was actually in the Disney College program last year in 2025 when I was actually in Florida while balancing my time working in person at Walt Disney World in the parks, networking, job searching, all this stuff, and also trying to get my foot in the door in the gaming industry. And boom, Sucker Punch, one of my all-time favorite studios, released the sequel to one of my all-time favorite games, Ghost of Tsushima. Yotei was great. I don't think it was better than Tsushima, at least in the story front, but gameplay-wise and soundtrack-wise, this game slapped, and it also shows just the evolution of where Sucker Punch can go as a first-party developer underneath the PlayStation umbrella. Now, these two, actually, funny enough, are games that I haven't even opened yet, because one of them is a game that I'm not really too keen on, but also I'm kind of running out of storage on my base PS5, and I have nowhere to put them on my external hard drive that I also have, so I'm technically waiting to see if Marvel Games will release a Wolverine PS5 Pro bundle or a Venom PS5 Pro bundle later down the line. Then I will eventually get that to then enhance my collection of physical media on my PlayStation, and that is Horizon the Zero Dawn, the Complete Collection, and a sports game. And I'm not even going to bother reading the title, FC24, I just did, because I don't really play sports games. I was gifted to it by a friend, but it was very kind of them to offer me that, but maybe I'll get to playing it around some other time. But again, these two games, the fact that I haven't even opened them out of the plastic wrap yet shows how dedicated I am to the concept of physical media, owning what you have, and choosing to do whatever you have with it. I could easily decide, in perfect condition, haven't even opened yet, I could easily decide to sell these two games on eBay if I want to for full price, if not higher price. But because now these physical discs are being stripped away from you, again, PlayStation will not even give you that option to choose what you want to do with the things that you own. But by the time that I actually get around to playing these games, I've already played Horizon Zero Dawn on PS4, but the complete collection, the remaster, has everything on the base game plus the DLC. I will be able to play that whenever I feel like by the time I get a physical disc tray with a PS5 Pro, because again, I won't be able to play it unless I have a physical disc tray to play the games on. So, Sony, again, get your shit together. Moving on to a whole other stack of games is Stellar Blade. Excellent, excellent action-adventure game. Soundtrack, easily one of the best OSTs I've ever heard, pretty much in any game. Incredible boss fights, and yes, fan service out the wazoo. But I'm super excited for Stellar Blade Blood Rain. I think Shift Up is doing a great job with these kind of AAA releases. Stellar Blade was excellent, and I'm very excited to see what they do with the sequel. And also, again, just taking a chance on new developers. I think that released Stellar Blade in 2024. I've never heard of Shift Up before, but there was a lot of conversation about this new upcoming AAA game, Stellar Blade. I tried the demo, I loved it, and then boom, because I loved the demo so much, another reason, digitally downloading a demo, wow, that game was great, I really want to buy that game now, but I don't just want to download it off the PlayStation Store, I want to use my own hard-earned money to go out to my local GameStop and buy the game for myself to add it to my collection. That's what gaming can do, and that's what building out your own library can do to preserve the legacy of these games. And say, for example, if Stellar Blade didn't succeed and we got no Stellar Blade Blood Rain in the future, you would still have proof that you took a chance on a brand new IP and have that in your physical collection. Whether a new IP succeeds or fails, the fact that you took a chance and physically bought the game for yourself is already a huge, huge testament to what physical gaming can do for the longevity of massive AAA games down the line. Speaking of which, masterpiece incoming, Astro Bot. The best game of the year, one game of the year 2024. It is my game of the year 2024. I mean, you already know Insomniac Spider-Man is in Astro Bot, both Peter and Miles. But this is a love letter to what PlayStation used to be. Literally all their great mascots, great action-adventure platforming, just a fun time. It'll put a smile on your face the moment you boot up the game. Also one of the best games that I've ever played that uses the DualSense controller to its max capabilities. Incredible title, and I can't wait if they make a sequel for Astro Bot. Another one, Death Stranding 2. Hideo Kojima's a madman, but I actually was able to meet him in person in 2019 during a fan event signing in San Francisco, where I have somewhere in my storage an autographed poster for Death Stranding 1 from Hideo Kojima himself, and I have Death Stranding 1, which we'll get to later, also on the PS5. I have it on my PS4 and PS5 because I think Hideo Kojima is such an innovative thinker when it comes to how his games work, and like I said in my previous video, we're kind of in a Death Stranding situation right now, where these physical games are no longer happening. In a way, it's also disconnecting the gaming community by no longer having gaming shops like GameStop or Best Buy or even the digital section in Target being able to pretty much have any physical games in the next 5 to 10 years, and people will not have any physical media to show for it if they're just banking on digital media, so it's just going to be barren, total wasteland scenario like Death Stranding. So we need to connect everyone, but should we have connected? The answer is yes, because games, physical games, incredible. Same thing, God of War Ragnarok. Great game. For some reason, I've seen people kind of turn on Ragnarok in the recent years. I liked God of War 1 a lot. My game of the year 2018 was still Spider-Man PS4. I think God of War Ragnarok beats God of War 1 2018 next to none. I think the boss fights are better, the story is better, and Valhalla was a great DLC. And Sony Santa Monica, very excited for God of War Laufey. I'm not a big die-hard God of War fan, but everything they've done with the series has always impressed me, so I'm very excited to see that future. And if God of War Laufey releases next year in 2027 before 2028 arrives, I'm going to be buying it on disc to preserve that legacy of this kind of current Norse-ish trilogy of the God of War games. Same thing, Ghost of Tsushima, Director's Cut, Sucker Punch are geniuses. I loved it. I bought it on the PS4. Then I double dipped on PS5, like I said with Ghost of Yotei. I like Yotei a lot. I love Ghost of Tsushima. Jin Sakai, my man, one of the best protagonists in any PlayStation game I've ever played. And again, music, incredible. Same thing, Last of Us Part 1. I know, I'm part of the problem. I understand. I'm buying the re-release of the remaster, of the remake, everything like that. I get it. But my friend Also, my roommate at the time, Chris from San Francisco State University, shout out to you, Chris, never played Last of Us. And that was when the show was releasing on HBO, and at the time they were also releasing the remake for the PS5. And I bought it so that we could play it together. And it was his first time ever playing The Last of Us. And he said it was now one of his favorite games of all time. So again, that's the thing that brings people together. I took a chance because I've already played the game. I didn't need to go out and buy the remake. But because I had so much of a fun time playing games with my friend and my roommate, I wanted to share that experience with him, go out of my way, and have him borrow my disc while the show of the game was releasing. That way we grew together as friends. And because of these games bringing us together, that's what gaming can do. So I'll always have a fond memory with The Last of Us in general being a great game, but mainly for this version of the game, Part 1, being very, very special for me during my time in college at San Francisco State University. Same with that, Final Fantasy 16. I've never played a Final Fantasy game in my entire life until I played 16. Because the whole thing with Final Fantasy 7 was, I understand that it's one of the most beloved games of all time, the original, and then the remake trilogy is doing all this to reinvent the story. But the fact that they are expanding one game into 3 separate games is kind of not milking it per se, but it's a bit too much. And I didn't really, gel with the kind of setting going on with Cloud, and I know Tifa and Aerith are like, top tier material, I understand that. But when this was coming out, everyone was saying, if you own a PlayStation 5, you need to play this game. And holy freaking crap. Clive, one of my all-time favorite gaming protagonists now, Ben Starr, there's a reason why he was nominated for Best Performance in 2023. This is why. Incredible game, and some of the most insane boss fights I've ever played in a video game. And because of this, it made me consider buying the Final Fantasy VII Remake Trilogy, but I still haven't gotten around to it. But maybe by the time that Revelations comes out, I will go out of my way to buy the entire Remake Trilogy if they end up releasing it all physically. If they're all separate, then maybe not. But by the time Revelations out, that'll be in 2027, which is before the 2028 cutoff date. So who knows? Same thing, as I've said in other videos, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I'm an average Star Wars fan. Average. But Cal Kestis is now my personal favorite Star Wars character in all of Star Wars media. And especially after working in Disney personally, in the Star Wars area in Hollywood Studios, they sell Cal Kestis' lightsaber as a physical thing that you can buy. Again, gaming outperforming everything related to Hollywood right now, especially how bad Mandalorian and Grogu bombed at the box office. Star Wars Jedi Survivor, one of the best Star Wars stories I've ever played through. Bode being kind of the secret villain of the whole game. Emotional train wreck. That left me broken because that was such a great story. But Cameron Monaghan as Cal Kestis, he's my GOAT. Love the Star Wars Jedi games. I have Fallen Order on my PS4 digitally, but I probably should go out and get it now physically. But those Star Wars Jedi games, can't wait for the third one. Same thing, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Same with Star Wars, I'm an average Indiana Jones fan, but the main reason I bought this game, as you should all know, is for this man right here. Tony Todd was in Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, and he poured out his heart and soul for that performance in the game. It was insane. And also Troy Baker doing a great job as Indiana Jones too. And it made me enjoy Indiana Jones more. I didn't like really the first-person gameplay because first-person games aren't my thing, but I still enjoyed the game for what it was. And of course, the story being, for me, personally, one of the best Indiana Jones stories I've ever seen. And now, whenever I look back at my PS5 library, I'll be able to go, oh yeah, that's right, I owned an Indiana Jones game. Maybe I should go out and buy some Indiana Jones DVDs, because I'm an average fan of the movies. But now I have this as a reminder, like, wow, I took a chance on Indiana Jones, and I really, really enjoyed it. Another great series of games which deserves its time in the spotlight with a physical release. And of course, to expand on the Persona style of things, Persona 3 Reload, incredible. Incredible. I love Persona 5 Royal more, as I've done in the past. I did a video essay talking about Persona 5 Royal in depth. Great, literally one of the best games ever made, in my opinion. One of the best JRPGs of all time, if not the best JRPGs of all time. Persona 3 Reload was excellent. Literally, I think, honestly, same with Stellar Blade, one of the best soundtracks in gaming of all time. And incredible DLC as well with Aegis, with her story. and I'm going to be buying Persona 4 Revival day one. So Persona 3 Reload, all the Persona games, excellent. Same thing, Control Ultimate Edition. I've said this before, and I'll say it again as many times as it happens, anytime they come up, and anyone who says otherwise is wrong. Remedy Games needs to make a Doctor Strange game. They're the only ones who can do it. They're the only ones who I want to do it. And if you play Control for yourself, you'll understand why. I love Alan Wake. I love their whole library of games. I didn't know anything about Control when I first picked it up, but I waited until, of course, the Ultimate Edition came out with everything in it, and it blew me away because Remedy is the best. And I should never have doubted them because I love Alan Wake, and I'm very excited for Control Resonant coming out soon as well. Death Stranding 1, like I said, just like with Death Stranding 2, Hideo Kojima is a madman, but I appreciate the lunacy that he has because of how innovative he is with the way on how he makes games, and I think Death Stranding 3, if that ever happens, could, if he's predicting all the future stuff right now, like what we did with Death Stranding 1 with COVID happening, who knows what the hell Death Stranding 3 could be about. AI taking over, maybe more than that, who knows. Hideo Kojima can see the future, and I'm very scared to see what that's going to happen. Same thing here. Uncharted double collection with a Thief's End and Lost Legacy with Chloe, Nathan Drake, and Chloe, one of my all-time favorite gaming protagonists ever. Nolan North, Claudia Black, great performances. Uncharted 2 is still my personal favorite, and I'm very, very excited to see what Naughty Dog is going to do with Intergalactic. But Uncharted, The Lost Legacy, and the Thief's End collection, I just wanted to have it physically because I know that they remade, they remade them for the PS5, and I just wanted to have more Naughty Dog in my collection. So it's great that I have it, and I'm very excited to see what Naughty Dog is cooking up next whenever the hell Intergalactic releases. Until Dawn, one of the best horror games of all time. I have the PS4 version, and now I have the PS5 version. Is the remake worth it? That's up for debate, and Until Dawn 2, shockingly enough, however, it's not being made by Supermassive Games. It's being made by, I think, Fire Sprite or Firewalk Studios, one of those. And I saw the trailer during the PlayStation State of Play in theaters when they showed the Wolverine gameplay and all that, and that was actually the thing that got the most shock from the audience. Is like, wait, no way, this is Until Dawn 2? Because of how much I love Until Dawn 1, especially with Josh, his actor, Rami Malek, who plays Josh in Until Dawn 1. Psychopath, one of the great performance in this game, totally off the rails, and the twist, spoilers, with the Wendigos was nuts. Dead Space, EA Motive, again, they're making Iron Man. They made the remake for Dead Space 1. Insanely talented studio. I can't wait to play Iron Man, and the reason why I bought this is because of Marvel, is because Iron Man, is because EA Motive is making a Marvel game, and I wanted to see what they are doing. Now, granted, I could have bought it digitally and just remove it off of my PlayStation Store and my HUD afterwards, but no, again, I wanted to take a chance on these developers, have physical proof that I was there when they released these games, and again, staying excited for the future, what they're going to do with Iron Man, and wanted to see for myself if they're actually going to cook with Iron Man, and I have no doubt they're going to cook with Iron Man. After playing this, I played a little bit of Dead Space 2 back in the day when it first released as a kid. Biggest mistake of my life, let me traumatized with nightmares as a kid, how scary that game was. But this was my first ever time playing through Dead Space from start to finish on the PS5 with the remake, and it was a blast. Same thing, Alan Wake Remastered. Alan Wake, incredible game. Remedy, incredible studio. I had the Xbox version, and then when they finally released it on PS5, I had to get it for myself because I want Alan Wake physically in my library to say, yeah, oh, did you play Alan Wake? Have you played Alan Wake? Here, borrow this game from me. I will allow you to borrow this game from me to try out Alan Wake for yourself. Incredible game. Amazing. If you haven't played already, I prefer Alan Wake 1 over Alan Wake 2, by the way, and Alan Wake 2, I haven't bought the physical version of it yet because prices are just too expensive right now, and I wasn't as much of a fan of Alan Wake 2 in comparison to Alan Wake 1, so right now I just have Alan Wake 1 in my library, and sadly, Gotham Knights. Now this is the thing, a great example. Does this game rock? No. Does it kind of suck? Yes. But the fact that I actually have physical proof that this game existed, it was a thing, that happened. It was one of the last few DC games we'll probably ever receive, and I have a physical copy of the game in my library. I was tempted, funny enough, to actually donate it to my friend Chris, my roommate from San Francisco State University, because he had just gotten the PS5, but he got a digital PS5, so he can't play the game without a disc drive, so I'm stuck with it now. But now hearing this news from PlayStation, I am beyond happy that I'm stuck with it, because granted, while I don't think it's anything that elevates the DC or Batman brand, and granted, it's nowhere near as terrible as Suicide Squad, which I'm never purchasing digitally or physically, but it tried. It tried to do something, and I respect it for that, and for that reason, I'm actually happy that I now have it in my library to look back and say, oh yeah, I remember that time when DC games were just doing terrible, terrible decisions, and now I have physical proof that it actually happened. And from the other video that you saw the other day, again, from all these other incredible PlayStation games that I have, Persona 5 Royal, Game of the Year 2020, one of the best video games in my opinion of all time, one of the best JRPGs ever made, one of the best stories in any game ever, and again, I have not only the game, but a steelbook physical copy of the game with a cardboard deluxe box, because that's how I roll, and I'm so proud to have this, not only my PS4, but also my PS5, and again, I'm beyond excited to see Persona 4 Revival release, and I'm going to buy that physically as well. Marvel's Midnight Suns, literally Marvel's Persona, same reason, or same thing, physical cover for the game, with the game box and a disc inside, because again, I love Marvel games, and I will buy every single Marvel game that I can find to have it in my physical library. Avengers, let's just move on. Marvel Cosmic Invasion, again, I bought it, I double dipped, which I didn't say in the last video. I double dipped with Cosmic Invasion. I bought this game at launch digitally, again, because it's Marvel and I want to support them. But now PlayStation, not understanding how physical gaming works for some reason, they get more money from suckers like me who don't want to be left out. Another thing, the FOMO, fear of missing out, but also want to instantly play the game if you're going to release it digitally only. I will go back and buy the game physically, full price, just to have this in my collection. I even have the receipt from GameStop where I bought it. But a physical disc reminding you that, yes, you own this now. It is a game that you can play at any time. If they somehow remove it from the digital storefronts, I own it now, and it's amazing. Guardians of the Galaxy, same thing. One of the best Marvel video games of all time. I feel so bad that I didn't buy the digital deluxe edition for the game. Or, not digital deluxe, physical deluxe edition with the steelbook case because of how badly Avengers let me down. And while buying it physically, I wasn't going to go and shell out money for the more enhanced version with the steelbook and the art book and all that for the game. As much as I regret that now, at the very least, I have a physical copy of the game. And again, if I were to ever see a physical re-release of the deluxe edition for Guardians of the Galaxy with the steelbook, again, I'm a sucker because I love physical media and I would still buy it anyway. Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, now we're getting to the Insomniac stuff. Again, I grew up with Ratchet & Clank. I think Up Your Arsenal is still my personal favorite Ratchet & Clank game. Rift Apart's pretty darn up there. Love it. I love Rivet, Jennifer Hale, James Arnold Taylor. Incredible actors, great story, amazing visuals, and showing what they could do with the PS5. Insane. And then, of course, I gotta waft it out, the trifecta. Boom. Miles Morales, Marvel Spider-Man 2, and the Steelbook for Marvel Spider-Man 2, which we're going to hold on to here. But again, these games, Marvel Spider-Man 3, if it releases after Marvel Spider-Man 2, and it comes out after 2028, no disc. No disc at all. So really, your physical collection of the Spider-Man games from the PS4 to the PS5 to the PS6 physically would only be Spider-Man PS4, Miles Morales with the digital only exclusive of the PS5 remaster, and then Marvel Spider-Man 2 as well. So, again, it's kind of a sad thing to hear now that maybe the last physical Insomniac Marvel game that could release, besides Wolverine, is going to be maybe Venom if that releases in September 2027. But here's the whole point of this entire video, besides that amazing collection, which I now have to rearrange after throwing them on my table over here. But the whole thing with physical media is it's not just about owning the thing that you buy. It's not even about playing the game. It's having a reminder of the memory that you made with something that means more to you than even life itself in a way. Because these things, quote unquote, make up who we are. me personally, of course, playing through these Marvel games have changed my life entirely. And I'm sure it has for you guys as well, who grew up with these characters and now being able to play as them in these interactive experiences mean more to you than you can imagine. And same thing with, you know, even if you buy the game digitally and you feel the same way, that's great. But by the time I get older and I'm no longer playing games and I look back at the yesteryear, I'll be able to physically hold this in my hand and say, wow, I remember when I was 26 years old, 25 years old, going to college, making sure that I could try and, you know, make my way in life and pursue my dreams. And when I was simultaneously juggling my assignments, trying to submit that on time, balancing uploading content on my YouTube channel, while personally still being incredibly excited for the one game that I was more excited for anything else in the entire world. And then, boom, I slotted on my shelf, and that journey is now over. And that is what I'm talking about with the importance of physical media. You have that memory with you, and nothing, no one, no company, no corporation, no digital timer with how long you may not even know the game could stay in your library will stick with you for the test of time. And on a personal level, for me, especially being a figure in the gaming community with Marvel games, I feel the need to say this right now, is that the Spidey Squad is immortalized in Spider-Man PS4 and in Spider-Man Remastered. The fact that this community exists is not only a testament to how much Spider-Man means to so many people, but the fact that how much gaming as a pastime, as a hobby, but really as a passion, can bring people worldwide together and be recognized by the people who make these incredible games, and boom, immortalize us into a game like that forever. And even more so, to get kind of serious here, is this, and I kind of glossed over it in the past video, but this, again, is my Steelbook that I got with my Collector's Edition for Marvel Spider-Man 2. No disc, but the Steelbook for the game was autographed by Najee Jeter and Tony Todd. Of course, the main wonderful actor who played Venom in Marvel Spider-Man 2, who has sadly since passed away. But not only did he go out of his way to sign my Steelbook for Marvel Spider-Man 2, he also autographed my entire physical PlayStation 5 console as well, that I now have on full display. And by the time, like I've said, I'm more than likely at some point going to buy a PS5 Pro, just because I want to enhance my storage space and also witness the more visual improvements that the PS5 Pro has to offer in comparison to the base PS5. But again, by the time I'm 90 years old, no longer a gamer, I'm too old and frail to be, you know, roasting people on chat when I'm playing Marvel Rivals or whatever, I will be able to display this incredible, monumental artifact that not only has meaning to my life, but also to the legacy of someone as amazing as Tony Todd. And same with, again, being able to not only meet him, have one-on-one conversations with him, but have, every time I look back, a physical reminder saying that he signed this for me. And it says, to Evan, thanks for your support from Tony Todd. And even from Najee Jeter says, my buddy Evan, Najee Jeter. But on my PS5, he directly wrote to our Spider-Man ambassador from Tony Todd. Again, I'm almost tearing up thinking about that and reminding myself of that. But it shows how these things are so beyond important. Not just to own the thing that you buy, but by the time you're done, you're finished, gaming is in the back end, you will be able to look back in your physical collection or even sell it for how much money you want. Whatever, especially now with physical media going to be even more expensive now in the future, being more valued if physical media becomes a more rare item, then you can sell it for gangbusters if you want. That's another thing too. But for someone like me, again, these experiences form who I am. And these people in my life shape the kind of trajectory that my life is going in the future. And every time I look at this, I just think that the way of how I remember forming and helping create this incredible group of massively passionate and talented individuals, and every single one of you who is part of this incredible community make it what it is today, but also make the realm of gaming as special as it is. And I just want you all to remember that you are a part of this, and you are a reason why this is so meaningful in the first place. And that's all I really have to say for all you guys. So with all that said, everybody, that is the video that I have for all you today. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments section down below. What is your personal favorite physical game in your collection? Which games do you want to buy physically still? Are there other games that you own digitally that you want to get physically, or do you have a game that you want to give to someone that is physical instead of digital, or anything like that? Let's just share our favorite gaming memories together, and I promise you that if you share this video, like this video, hype this video, and send it directly to PlayStation, I have a good feeling that they might get the message across and maybe rethink, at the very least rethink, the terrible decision that they're making now with physical games. But with all that said, everybody, thank you all so much for watching. Stay spectacular, Spidey fans, and until next time, peace out.